It's very easy for a woman to lose her self-esteem. The whole world around is constantly trying to degrade a woman in her own eyes. This is one of the major foundations of the very existence of our fucked up society. If men can raise their self-esteem on their own fast and easily, for women rising it back takes more than a positive self-talk. It requires favorable circumstances and the right application of the knowledge that you are about to receive. The approach adopted by many women, somewhat arrogant denial, showing off as a tough lady with cast iron balls who can live and do everything on her own, is nothing more than a pretense, attempts to convince others and first of all herself that she's all right. Well, tough ladies, you're not, and you know it. It's up to you. Keep pretending or get out of this confinement and get the life you really want. First of all, on the inside, deep down, where you know the truth and where it hurts the most. A woman usually experiences low self-esteem when she believes that she has to earn something. Anything actually. Favorable attitude towards her, love, money, respect, a place under the sun. As my former colleagues in psychology claim, this comes from our childhood. It doesn't take a genius. Nearly everything comes from our childhood. But this time, for a change, it's exactly true. Almost all parents today make a huge mistake exchanging their parental love for the achievements of their children. Like, if you keep your room clean and tidy, you're a good child. Otherwise, you're not, and we don't love you as much as if you were a good child. The more sophisticated manipulations parents use on their children sounds like, your room is so messy and dirty, it makes us feel horrible. Apparently, you want us to die of grief and sorrow. This is pure abuse, loading children with guilt, which they will be carrying all life long, being unhappy, lonely, unsuccessful, wasting fortune chatting with psychologists. Expecting something from a child works only for boys. For girls, it's a curse for life. The curse that dooms her to be unhappy, unhealthy, and lonely, even with someone. Let's not blame the parents only. Today, the vast majority of people simply don't know how to raise children, and that our self-esteems have totally different mechanisms. For men, it is self-producing. A man can just say to himself that he is all right, and his life will start to improve right away. But women cannot do it. The female self-esteem is created by the opinions about the woman from her nearest surrounding. This is our true psychology, and all doctors could confirm it if they wanted to. If they wanted to lose their high income. Yes, funny, I know. This is so important that I will say it again. The man's self-esteem is internal, self-producing. But for women, self-esteem is external. It depends on the opinions of other people about her. A man can say to himself, I'm great, I can do anything. And this actually makes him rise. First, emotionally in his own eyes, then mentally, financially, and so on. A woman, on the other hand, needs to hear it from the others constantly. This isn't my invention, this is the scientific knowledge. Too bad this science is forgotten today. But no worries, I'm here to help you. Again, female self-esteem depends on the opinions of others about her. Ironically, this very condition makes rising her self-esteem, if not easy, but certainly simple. Be only around those who love you, or at least like you, and get rid of anyone who treats you unkindly with envy or hostility, even your closest friends, even your parents. It's often our loved ones who cause us the most harm. Another thing that most people today don't know is that every girl, right from birth, has all her feminine qualities she will ever have in this lifetime. She won't acquire any more of these qualities, but she can easily lose them. Every new quality she dirties herself with is a masculine quality, which by definition is a feminine flaw. It reduces some aspect of her femininity. No girl has to improve herself ever, not only because this is impossible, but also because so-called improvements destroy her health and femininity. In every ages, in every cultures, it was always prescribed for girls to preserve their feminine qualities. It was never said to acquire or develop them. A girl just has to wait until she grows up and starts shining with her female magnificence. Working on oneself, improving oneself, these concepts apply only to men. Because boys, in order to become men, have to work hard, have to overcome hardship, pain, their fears and weaknesses. I have a video about it. The link to it is in the description. A woman is a special form of life made to inspire, to create comfort and coziness, to spread an aura of love and peace around her. And I don't care how outdated this may seem to you. Our true essence remains unchanged, and so our true psychology, physiology, our needs, fears, aspirations, qualities, and everything else. This is why a girl should always be appreciated for what she is, never for what she does. Because if a girl needs to be good to be loved, she will get used to earn everything. This will make her dependent on the opinions and demands of her surrounding, which will be used against her by countless manipulators and the whole society, which in turn will be quickly destroying her femininity, health and happiness, and her life. Just what we see today happening to the vast majority of women. Women today have a huge disadvantage. Our world is a man's game played by the men's rules on the men's playground. Being forced to play this game, most women inevitably lose it, especially internally. They lose themselves, even if on the outside they seem to be successful. The definition of success as we know it today also applies to men only. The female success is totally different. I spoke about it already and will be speaking again and again until people will start to understand to what degree our life is not what it should be. But for now, I would like you to understand at least one thing. The modern world, our society, constantly puts women down. Our society is fake and artificial in most senses, and it won't survive on the natural principles, those of health, happiness, empathy, understanding and collaboration. That's why our society doesn't need healthy, happy people. So it constantly fucks up our minds and screws up our lives with the help of its faithful therapists and their far-fetched theories. Sorry, I got carried away, this pisses me off. Our self-esteem is also related to the nature of our egoism, which is also different. The male selfishness is his desire to receive. The female selfishness, on the opposite, is a woman's unwillingness to accept care, love, anything actually. It's in the woman's nature to serve others, to give herself out. It's in the man's nature also, but in a different way, some other time about it. If a man needs to force himself to receive less and to give more, for women this is opposite. A woman needs to learn to receive. The female nature is giving, and a lot of women have no limits. They give away everything. Their time, their energy, their efforts, themselves, completely. This also contributes to lowering their self-esteem and their femininity. Think about it. This will help you understand a lot of what's going on around and why. This will also help you get rid of many misconceptions, such as if a man pays for you in a restaurant, you owe him something, usually sex. Remember, this is a man's game. You don't have to play it. Here's what can help you not to fall for this scam. By accepting a man's care, you're doing him a huge favor. You make him feel better, like a real man, because it makes him fulfill his true purpose, take care of somebody. And if you sincerely thank him for it, he'll think about how to please you even more. See how simple it is, if you don't complicate things. We are talking, of course, about real men, not overgrown boys. Don't trust his official age. Even his passport says that a man was born 50 years ago. That doesn't mean he's grown during these years. Let's move on to the next aspect of female self-esteem. Often good women live with non-particularly good men, scoundrels. It seemed to be strange and exceptional, but no, a lot of great women opt for rascals. It happens because such women don't believe that they deserve the attention of a worthy man. Because, oh no, there are no good men left. Of course there are none. It's a woman who makes her man. And she makes him as good as she wants him to be. No man is ever born worthy. He has to become one. This is his woman's job to guide him the right direction. I have a video with an exact step-by-step instruction how it's done. As usually, the link is in the description. Now I will mention only that long proper courtship is a must, without much commitments and obligations on either side. It's a pity, of course, to date for a year only to realize or to be told that you two are not right for each other. But still, it's better than suffering for the rest of your life with the wrong person. But if a woman has low self-esteem, she reasons, subconsciously of course, something like, I don't deserve a worthy man. At least someone's paying attention to me. I need to hold on to him or I will end up alone. So she stays with some jerk who treats her badly. If this happens to you, it would be wise to leave him and start rebuilding your self-esteem. Systematically. Let's talk about it. How you raise your self-esteem properly. First, you need to realize there is a problem, because it's impossible to fix a problem if you don't think you have one. Here is a hint. If this concerns you even a little, the problem is there. I have under my belt about 100 ways of raising female self-esteem. But I won't be going into it now. This will take another video or a webinar to make it interactive so that you can ask your questions and resolve your problems. Now I will only describe the principle in general so that you know where to start and what direction to proceed. Your feminine energy is increased by anything that brings you pleasure. Ecological pleasure, of course. For many, pleasure is drinking, sniffing drugs, or promiscuity. But such fun is toxic. It depletes your energy and vital resources at an incredible rate. Here are some examples of ecological things that raise your energy, femininity, self-esteem, beauty, improve your health and longevity. The most important thing is to go to sleep every night by 8-9 p.m. Everything else is not as important. But still, meet with your girlfriends at a coffee shop. When collaborating, women enhance their femininity. Girls only. Any man in this company will create tension which will deplete your energy instead of building it up. Go to a spa or a fancy restaurant. Get a massage, gaze at the full moon, attend some courses and classes. Something easy, not karate. Something soft and calm like drawing or discussing of Shakespeare writing. Choose yourself. If you don't have children, borrow a friend's kid and go for a walk with this monster. Okay, angel. Arrange for yourself a festive 12-course dinner by candlelight, alone, for no reason, on a snow-white tablecloth with the best dishes that have been sitting in the cupboard since the day your parents got married. Change your hairstyle, go shopping, just not to grocery or home renovation stores, go to fancy boutiques. Rearrange everything in the house several times until you like it. Repaint the house several times until you like it. Give yourself an extra makeup or manicure, better both. Visit a neighborhood retirement home or a pet shelter and spend time with its inmates. Take a walk in the forest, sing in the shower, and so on. Another super important thing for a woman to boost your self-esteem is to cleanse yourself of masculine traits. First, you need to recognize that you are contaminated by masculine qualities. As I said already, we live today in the men's world, playing the men's game by the men's rules. In order to survive here, women had to learn playing this game. But the men's qualities are flaws for women. In other words, using the game metaphor, every goal a man scores in this game brings him closer to winning it. Every goal a woman scores in this game brings her severe injuries and leads her to failure. When we get into an alien environment, we either die or adapt to it. which doesn't make it any less foreign for us. Like if you submerge underwater, you'll hold your breath until you get above the surface or until you resurface. This doesn't mean that upon returning to land you should walk around holding your breath all the time. The modern world is alien to women. It exists and operates according to male rules, and women are forced to play by these rules. Living and actively operating in this man's world, playing a man's game by the man's rules, women inevitably become contaminated with masculine qualities. On the one hand, this is necessary to survive here. On the other hand, it leads to the loss of your innate feminine purity. The challenge for women isn't learning to hold your breath for long periods in the alien male environment. Your goal here is to quickly return to your own feminine world. Physically, it's tightly intertwined with the male world, but mentally and emotionally, these worlds intersect very little. Returning to your natural environment means refusing to play the man's game and adopting your own rules. What's natural for women? In the same physical world inhabited by both of us. What prevents you from doing it is the fear to lose in this game, to never meet a worthy man and to forever stay alone, working hard and doing everything yourself. Let me reassure you, you have already lost in this game, the moment you agreed to play it. Since then, this fear of yours is being constantly reinforced by our so-called culture and our traditional psychology, our idiotic customs, and the total misunderstanding of the subject. No wonder it's not offered in schools anymore. Our fucked up society needs frightened, bewildered, lost women, not protected by their worthy, responsible husbands. But again, you don't have to play this game anymore. I can help you start playing your own game and win it. Now, what are these masculine pollutions I mentioned earlier? Anything that is unnatural for a woman. This could be your high assertiveness, your physical strength, your masculine way of dealing with others, leading, getting things done, as well as all sorts of habits associated with living in a stressful society. Many women do well in the male world and even become successful here, but successful by male standards. This means not only that you put in a lot more efforts to achieve what men achieve naturally and easily. It also means quick loss of your feminine energy, health and attractiveness, as well as shortened lifespan. And this is only on a physiological level. On the more subtle planes, this signifies all kinds of problems, because such successful woman is not fulfilling her intended destiny. This disappoints the higher powers and they complicate your life even further to make you realize that you are not living your life and need to change something. In fact, this is the only reason of all our problems, difficulties and mishaps. If you got comfortable in the men's world, can disperse a crowd of hooligans with a few punches, if you can easily change oil or tires on your car while making mechanics around blush with your vocabulary, this is a clear sign that you have acquired masculine qualities and that you do not live your intended life, that of a woman, a life intended for you by your creator for this lifetime. It's like you were invited to play in a theater, but decided that the role you've chosen is boring or not cool or hard. So right in the middle of the play, you took some other role. Naturally, you screw up the whole play. The producer gets upset and you get disciplined all the way down to getting fired from this theater of life. Most people today are materialists. They believe only in what can be perceived by their five senses. Therefore, they are unable to realize the harm they get by rebelling against God, which it literally is. Same applies to men. Those who avoid taking responsibility for their close ones violate the laws of the universe. So they also get their shares of extra problems. Of course, let's not fall into extremes. Some masculine qualities make your life easier. We all have both masculine and feminine energies. The optimal balance is about 80 to 20%. We need this non-yours 20% to successfully live in our imperfect world. Likewise, some feminine energy gives a man certain flexibility, which helps him better navigate difficult situations and achieve results without leaving behind too many corpses. While some masculine energy allows a woman to stand for herself, to demonstrate certain firmness, which is sometimes necessary. But this small amount of the alien energy and qualities fits harmoniously into your life, making it simpler and more interesting. Like a pinch of salt makes a dessert sweeter. I can go on and on with this fascinating subject, but I think you got the idea. If you didn't, watch it again with the subtitles on. And I will wrap it up. Everything comes down to priorities. If you say or even think that you have no time to change your life, what it essentially means is that you don't need it badly enough yet. Then skip it until it becomes really important for you. Then get back to me, if it won't be too late. I'm not pressuring you, but it becomes too late on itself by the virtue of time. Almost all women who lived for several years on their own, especially successful by the standards of our whacked society, lose their femininity to the point that they are unable to be in healthy relationships anymore. Even when meeting a worthy, mature man, still good-looking, such women lose their essential feminine qualities, which repels normal men. I hope you won't get to this point of no return. I know how to help you. Having saved over 300 families as a professional consultant, I guarantee that I will find the solution to your problems too. Write to me. You are welcome.